Welcome to Biohacking Beauty, your go-to anti-aging skincare podcast.
We're your host, Amitai and Anastasia, the founders of Young Goose Skincare. And today, we're doing things a little differently.
Okay, so isn't your usual deep dive into protocols and pathways. This is real talk, unfiltered opinions, the stuff we text each other about when we see one more influencer pushing a product or procedure that makes zero sense to us.
Or another tallow-based skin. Never mind. Anyway, so yes.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. We've built our careers on optimizing skin from the inside out, tapping into mitochondrial function, NAD, peptides, all of it. And what drives us crazy is how many so-called, skincare hacks are actually making things, I'd say, worse.
Yeah. So in this episode, we're going raw. And one of us asks a question, the other gives their honest take. You'll hear where we agree with each other, where we might not, and why your skincare needs to go beyond trends and just needs to make cellular sense.
Yeah, we're going to call out hype, debunking some myths, and sharing the behind the scenes truths no one talks about. Because good skin isn't just about what you put on it, it's about understanding how it functions.
Yes. And if you want your skin to act younger, you need to stop following outdated advice. And this is where real biohacking begins for us.
Okay, so let's redefine how skin, or what aging looks like.
For the skin?
And let's do it. Yeah, for the skin. And let's do it now.
Okay. So, all right. I'll start. First one. No?
I want to start.
You want to start?
Yes.
Go.
Sorry.
Go.
I prepared. So anyway.
You go. You start.
First one, because I really, it's a question that I love your take on, so I was excited. If you had to pick just one skincare procedure for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Easy. Microneedling with PRP.
Okay.
Why? Because I feel like it's perfect storm of controlled trauma and regeneration. You're getting those growth factors from your own body and signaling your fibroblasts to build new collagen. But obviously, as we always say in every podcast, but maybe for some of you, this is the first podcast you're listening to, the skin has to be metabolically ready for it. So, you have to prepare for it before procedure and treat it seriously after, have proper aftercare. But if there is only one procedure for the rest of my life, it's microneedling with PRP.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I agree with you about the being like metabolically ready, or however you wanna boil it down to have the skin fitness or resilience associated with it, because you started microneedling, then you said microneedling with PRP, and a lot of we just have done, for example, microneedling with PRP and exosomes.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be sharing on Instagram our journey of healing from it.
Yeah, but to your point, why microneedling, then why microneedling with PRP, why microneedling with exosomes? What we're doing there is introducing kind of more biological help for the cells to yield good results from that trauma, or to heal well from that trauma. But and I'm sure we're going to touch on it today, there is nothing that's more important than your metabolic state, or skin biological age or functional age, whatever you want to call that, pre-procedure, how you arrive to that procedure.
Absolutely.
As someone in there, an 18-year-old that's, healthy, is going to handle microneedling without PRP, without anything associated with it, significantly better than a 60-year-old that has like NAD IV on one hand, on the one side, exosome IV on the other, like stem cells on their face, and then PRP. So it's really important to, you're the artist, which is like the person doing the PRP or the microneedling, is only as good as the canvas, right?
Yeah, and what you said is also echoed by a lot of plastic surgeons. They are saying that if you're somebody that you want to have a facelift done, don't wait until you're 65. Don't wait until you're 70. You actually will recover better at 50. And this is a shift, because I know a lot of plastic surgeons, or at least I heard them say the opposite like 10 years ago, oh, do everything you can, delay facelift, and this is like your final act, of beautifying yourself. Like, wait until you're 60, wait until you're 70. And now they're saying no, like, don't wait because your skin recovers better earlier.
I think also what it meant to have a facelift as far as like trauma was different than 10, 20,
because
30
of the
years
way
ago.
they're doing procedures these days. But even,
But biology first. That's what we want to see. Raise your NAD levels, clear out, zombie cells, senescent cells with autophagy or a senolytic fast or something like that. Then do, your PRP or microneedling. That's how you get that, what did you do to your skin? Look, and not what did you do to your skin? Look,
Yeah,
so,
that's funny.
Yeah.
But even like you mentioned that we did PRP with stem cells and exosomes. When you're looking at exosomes derived from human tissue, right? Not plant-based, plant-derived exosomes.
Which is BS. It doesn't exist. Anyway.
Well, yeah, and that can be a separate episode altogether. But again, if you're going for the exosomes that are human-derived and you want to really do your research, right? You need to think about who was the donor for those exosomes, and the quality ones are donated by females 18 to like about 25. They're looking at their health, and these are the best exosomes, the ones that are gonna carry the best growth factors and signals for your skin to recover. So it all kind of makes sense that the younger you are, the better. You will take on any kind of treatment and recover from them. Okay, so what about you? If you had only one procedure that you could do for the rest of your life for skin procedure, what would be?
So I'm going to cheat. And I'm going to say red light therapy. And the reason is this. I think this is something that you cannot go wrong with. And when you say for the rest of your life, I need to make sure it's not only the rest of my life, for example. It's like what would fit everyone at any stage, at any, whatever. That would be that red light therapy 3 to 5 times a week, I would say. Because it's first and foremost like a mitochondria hack. It targets, red light therapy. What it does, it basically is like a gym for your mitochondria. It stresses the mitochondria in a way which makes it produce more energy, cleaner energy, and long term it also optimizes it. So you have more mitochondria per cell, given the fact that you're doing it for forever. So obviously it's cheating because obviously we kind of come from that field.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course, you're going to do it like you're an expert in it. And that's actually a good choice as well. If you're doing just one thing for the rest of your life, you better do what you're really knowledgeable about.
Yeah, and I would say, but it's the same way where I think you would say the same about microneedling. It's like it's a very broad spectrum term, and then it depends like depth. Like there's a lot to go with it, like what device, everything. When talking about red light therapy, it wouldn't be a red light therapy mask, let me tell you. It would be a red light therapy panel, and it would be, and something good if I had to, was basically on deserted island only with one technology, right? This is something that wouldn't only help my facial skin, for example, could use all over the body. Actually, emergent research showing that red light therapy on the stomach improved like gut microbiome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
we actually talked to Sarah a while back when she was testing
Correct.
that as well.
Correct. Sarah Turner, that has a device called Cera, CERA.
Yeah. Yeah. I really hope that on this deserted island where you got somehow to yourself to with the red light therapy only, you will also have our ladder serum.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Hint,
not a real
hint.
deserted island. It's an island I purchased. So in that scenario, I have a private plane that I can fly whatever I want. So yeah.
Yeah. But the reason I am, quote unquote, plugging in ladder here is because the red light therapy is great and it will do its job. But I think since we are in the field of biohacking, which is improving, optimizing, you can now optimize your red light therapy, especially for facial rejuvenation, and you can get more out of it if you apply ladder first. And if you never heard of our ladder serum and the way it interacts with the red light therapy, we have a deep dive on it.
Yeah, but normally we cut to the it just doubles the results of red light therapy.
Yeah.
But it's it does way more than that. But yeah, to stack biohacking should be really called biostacking.
Yeah.
So that would be definitely a worthy stack, if you would.
Okay, I have a question
yeah.
for you. So now my turn to ask a question. So which skincare trend do you think it's going to age terribly in the hindsight?
As always, I'm going to catch some heat, no pun intended, for this, but I'm going to say wave-based tightening devices.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm saying it, such a broad term, because
those are hot.
those are hot, yes. But what they do is
Physically, and they're also trending.
Correct. So that would be your radio frequency microneedling, which is very different than the microneedling we talked about before. So Morpheus 8, things like that, or radio frequency in general, and high frequency ultrasound, something like all therapy, soft wave that just Kim Kardashian, got paid a lot of money to
Throwing everyone under the bus already. We just started.
Kim Kardashian. So this Morpheus 8, all therapy, all of those I think would age, no pun intended, very, very badly. Because it's trauma, but not the good kind. Not like microneedling.
Yeah. And that's again, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but there are Kim Kardashian and other influencers.
Listen, the bus can't move already. So it's stuff under.
Sometimes I don't know if necessarily they're paid to promote those services, but they're humans and they make mistakes too. So let's say for example, maybe she wasn't paid to get soft wave and she did this treatment and she was genuinely thinking, and that's a very hypothetical scenario. We both know probably she got paid, but let's say she didn't. She did this treatment and she thought she looks better, and she is sharing her life. Like she has an ongoing TV show about her life and all of the aspects, and this is definitely a topic people would want to tune into and see. And then she shares the results, and she's thinking she's being helpful and honest and transparent, where she's not hiding her beauty secrets, but she's not knowledgeable in devices, right? So she is relying on somebody advising her to get those treatments done. And those people are not always know how those technologies are going to age in hindsight. So let's say she did this treatment, and right now she sees a lot of tightness, and she's loving it. But what she doesn't know is that most of it comes from inflammation. She doesn't know, actually, when she shares about it with whatever, I think she has 300 million followers or more on Instagram. Yeah. Lots of it happens from fibrotic remodeling. So she's basically turning her collagen matrix into scar tissue. But then again, she and other influencers, they don't know that. So they're sharing what they think works for them. They don't know how their results going to pan out in 10 years. And, you know,
Yeah. So
and that's the same thing happened with the salmon sperm facial. She was also one of the first ones to get it done, and then we just saw a huge boom because her and other people sometimes are so influential in this space, but again, they're just not knowledgeable.
yeah, a small note about PDRN, which is salmon sperm facial. The problem is that all of it comes from farm-raised salmon, full of like plastics, chemicals, things like that. Although we are trying to source like wild caught, but that's very difficult. So yeah, first of all, you're correct. So what happens to the tissue is that it absorbs a lot of water and gets inflamed. So you look firmer, you look tighter.
Yeah, and
Exactly
just
like someone's.
in case if you got lost, what we're talking about now, microneedling with radio frequency or PDRN. Right now, I switch back to talking about.
Yeah, I know. So PDRN,
Yeah,
it rests in its. We're going to talk about it another time, but
and we talked about it before. Yeah,
all therapy, Morpheus 8, all of those, they create trauma that's under the skin. So you can't see it. So you don't understand what's going on, but the tissue under the skin is inflamed. That inflammation creates expansion of volume. Someone looks in the mirror, they think they look great, but that volume resolves itself into very thin, like not impressive scar tissue. But that takes like 3 to 6 months. So what happens is that people think the rejuvenation has worked, and they, after like 6 months, they're saying, "Oh, it went away."
yeah,
It didn't go away. It now is the actual result, and the result is not impressive, and also fibrotic, scarred,
yeah,
basically under the surface. So it's like the skin. It's like anti-longevity, right? It's like skin behaves older, less elastic, less regenerative, and it might look okay on the surface, but you've accelerated biological aging underneath. And I would say 99.9% of people are doing this to avoid getting a facelift.
yeah.
And what they don't understand is that it actually does not, I would say, stave off. It doesn't prolong the timetable to get a facelift as far as like appearance, and they are making themselves a significantly worse patient
Yeah.
to a facelift because the tissue that is going to be manipulated in the surgery is now, after a few times doing it, is basically now big, huge scar tissue.
Yeah, and a lot of plastic surgeons talk about it these days. Like if you tune into like Instagram of Dr. Cameron Chestnut and a couple of others that I don't remember their names. I think one of them is Dr. Barrett, another one is Dr. Kareem or something. They all talk about it. They talk about the fact that ever since this technology came to be famous and their patients are doing it.
Amir Karam.
Yes, that one. Yeah. The patients, it's hard to operate on them. So again, if you're considering facelift in the future, just know that it will be, your tissue will be harder to work with. If everything else we said until now is not motivating you enough not to undergo this treatment. Yeah, so I agree. I think that's definitely one of those treatments that, in hindsight, I think later, people will realize was a mistake.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question for you. What's one skincare rule that you secretly love to break?
Yeah. Well, me, I'm not one for breaking rules much.
No.
That's more your area.
Thankfully, that specific gene was well inherited by our son.
Yes. Our son is a pretty good boy so far. He's only 18 months. But
he's gonna be like, he's gonna look at something that we told him not to do, and he's gonna look at you and he's gonna tell you, no.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing these days.
Yeah.
Like for example, when he's drawing on the wall, when we told him not to do it, and then he turns around,
No.
no.
Yeah.
But he knows already how to clean the wall, so that's very impressive.
Yes,
And at least he can clean up after his mistakes. Well, okay, breaking the rules. So yeah, I'm normally staying very like regimented and I'm very disciplined with most things, including the way I approach skincare. But the one thing I think like I'm breaking quote unquote rules is mixing actives. I'm not very rigid around it. And I think the whole like don't mix actives thing, it's a little bit outdated. Like people act like layering vitamin C with peptides and retinol going to like just make your skin explode and all of these actives are going to cancel each other out, and a lot of it comes from again like older years when cosmetics was formulated differently, and then again if you're getting formulas from the same skincare company, I know this is the case with us. They're all formulated, like all serums that we make are formulated in a way that they complement each other. They mix very well to the point that sometimes you can even mix them in the palm of your hand and apply all together
Yeah.
if you're really in a rush. Of course, layering and waiting in between is optimal, but sometimes you don't have the time. As a mom of 18 months old, I can guarantee you I don't always wait a minute in between layering my serums or products. And that's again like if you have well formulated, stable formulas, you can layer more active ingredients than what Instagram makes you believe. And sometimes that's just also viral content, like somebody sharing, like, oh my God, did you know you can't mix vitamin C and retinol? And that goes viral. And then everyone believes that's exactly the reason, your skincare doesn't work.
Yeah.
But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I don't know who started the myth that actives are like volatile chemicals just waiting to cancel each other out. But people, I mean, brands and not even us, like brands in general are not doing like, for the most part, like kitchen chemistry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say like good brands are biodesign, using biodesign compounds, especially again the way we know how we formulate or how we've been hired by other brands to formulate for them. We make things either interact with each other on purpose, right?
Yeah.
Or not. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, an easy example, I think, for listeners would be like, let's say, take our Youth Reset Serum. It combines THD8, so the lipid soluble stable vitamin C, copper peptides, NAD precursors in one formulation. And we did get questions in the past like, oh, are you sure you can have copper peptides and vitamin C? I heard those don't work well together. So, and I think a lot of those questions also come from like supplements and, injecting things. Like it's just different for skincare. So I'm here to break that rule.
I mean, it's a valid point. Like, some things that are more reactive, if they're water soluble, they're reactive with other things. And the other things are like lipid soluble, they're not going to react as much. Like, I think there's nuance there, and there's difference between companies and like what they do to molecules. That's important.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. Like sometimes people, I think they just don't have the mental capacity to take into account nuance. It's much easier to approach things that are like black and white, but they're not. And especially in skincare, there is like, any formula is not black and white.
And I think there's also nuance there about signaling across different pathways. So it's not always about how they interact in the bottle. Well, I mean, there's two things, like interacting in the bottle and then interacting on your skin, which is, so I'll give an example. Like interacting in the bottle would be like, how would the copper in copper peptides interact with other things that want those electrons? So for example, like apigenin, for example, something that you can't put inside the same bottle, as an example. But there are things that people are afraid of how they're interacting on the skin. For example, like vitamin C and retinol, or copper peptides and retinol and things like that. So we need to understand that a lot of the times, if they're formulated correctly, they're going to be interacting with specific pathways that have nothing to do with each other. Mitochondrial function, collagen synthesis, antioxidant defense, they're actually in different layers in the skin even. So, different vitamin C's are going to be in different parts of the skin.
Yeah.
So it's like layering instructions for repair and not just like, hydration and surface stuff blasted through different ingredients all together. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now what question you want to ask?
Okay. So I would just say, that everything we said, it doesn't apply if you're using like poorly formulated drugstore products that have been like on the shelf for 10 years. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
You're going to be shocked, but I don't always. You're asking me like what would be the rule that I would break?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you meant, or you wanted another?
No, I forgot I didn't ask you back this question. Yeah, what rule?
Now is the time to tell about the times that I tried to tell you something.
I just because you break so many rules. I think I didn't think you would be able to answer this one question.
But I would.
But yeah, the number one rule that you break.
The rule that I break that I think I got some flack in the past is that I don't wash my face in the morning. And so I know you know that, so you're not very surprised, but people are surprised. So if I've done a solid like routine the night before, my skin it's not dirty in the morning. I splash cold water, do a light mist of a secret product that's not out yet, and jump straight into my routine, serum, moisturizer, sunblock, whatever that is.
Yeah. And I actually have come around and I also don't always wash my face in the morning. I still like splash it with water, and sometimes because I face tape at night, I like want to like pat my forehead with the wet towel just because I'm like, I know there isn't like quote unquote glue there, but I just feel like my forehead is dirty if I don't do that. But I used to be very diligent about like washing my face in the morning with a face wash. And I no longer do that. I feel like, if I don't wash my face in the morning with a cleanser, I actually, like, I don't feel like it's dirty. And I don't know, maybe it's because I know we've like invested into our water, which will be another episode, but like we have reverse osmosis, so it's a very clean water. And we invested into air filtration. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like something accumulated on my skin overnight. And also I love, if there's any leftover from my evening skincare, I don't want to wash it off.
Especially with a don't want to beat a dead horse here. I don't know if that's the phrase, but especially with a properly formulated nighttime routine.
Yeah. I just really feel like, if you're somebody that you're listening to this podcast and you always wash your face in the morning with a cleanser, just give it a try. Just washing your face in the morning with water and see, maybe it's going to be better for your skin microbiome, and you'll find out that it's actually works better for you. But maybe there is some subset of people that maybe they are so oily that if they don't wash their face in the morning with a cleanser, they really do accumulate, bacteria on their face. And maybe for them, cleanser is essential.
I would say that, the fact that we use silk pillows, they're antimicrobial, does help.
Yeah.
Let's flip that though. Okay, let's flip it on its head.
Okay.
What's one skincare trend that used to annoy you, right? But now you've kind of come around to it.
Yeah, easy. Face taping.
Yeah.
I
just want to say that I definitely was anti face tape when it first like started trending. But yeah.
I mean, the first time I saw face taping, it was, the first time I was introduced to face taping, it was actually for my jaw. But I was given a face tape that was actually just the kinesiologic tape.
Yeah.
And it was so strong and it was so painful to remove from my face. And one time, because I was not knowledgeable, so I left it overnight, and then I remember I left it for a day. I actually had this bright blue tape on my jaw during the day, and I didn't mind. We went shopping, and like, I just didn't
Oh, you
mind
look
that it's on
cool.
my face. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought I could look super cool and biohacking, but what I didn't realize that because it's kind of lifts the skin and brings so much blood flow. If you leave it too much, it can be like very hard to remove, like very painful. And that's
Yes.
what happened to me. Like I felt like I needed painkillers to remove this face tape from my face. And that was my first encounter of like face tape. Although again, it wasn't like a face tape that I use these days. And then I saw it trending, and it wasn't until I actually like started like watched a proper masterclass, got an education of how to apply it, actually ordered real good Japanese face tape and started doing it consistently, that I saw the results. And
Shout out to who?
So first of all, shout out to Jamie Maguire, for spreading the word. She was the one who converted me to do face taping. So shout out
Shout
to
out to
Jamie.
Jamie.
Prior to her, I have already saved a bunch of videos, and most of them were by Olga from Natural Face Bible. But it wasn't until Jamie that I actually started doing it, and I am purchasing the facial tape from Natural Face Bible. I honestly think it's very gentle. I have very delicate, very thin skin. I've never had any breakouts or issues with my face from that tape. So if you want to give it a try, I think that's the best one on the market.
Olga is the one that listens to this podcast.
Olga is the one that listens to the
Shout out to Olga.
Shout out to Olga. Jamie also listens to this
Oh,
podcast.
shout out to all of them then. Shout out to anyone listening to this podcast. Really.
For sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
And, but really, to every woman out there who put in time to record videos and tutorials about face taping, like, thank you, because it's absolutely a natural thing that has, besides the fact that it has a wrinkle relaxing effect, not like Botox, but natural way, it also is like, when you go into the science behind facial tape, it brings blood flow. There's just like so many good things to it, and to it as a practice that I honestly can't recommend it enough. I have put it on my Instagram stories a couple of times of like a poll just to see if people like picking up facial tape more and more. It's almost always that people heard about it. Like the majority of the people that follow me, at least, they've heard about it, but they don't do it because it seems like it's an added step and it's just too much to commit to. I will say that it literally doesn't take more than 2 minutes, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, but the cutting of the thing takes an hour. Anyway.
It doesn't take an hour.
It doesn't. I'm kidding. You know, you should do a poll. Do you answer to poll on Instagram? And yes and no. Got it?
Yeah.
Be 100% yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you would say what kind of changed your mind? Was it like reading the science? Was it trying it first and seeing the results?
The most, I will say, what helped me change my mind is seeing women beyond 40s that are not doing Botox. They're constant, like they have full range of facial expression, and they're doing face taping and they don't have wrinkles. That's the thing that changed my mind the most, right? But then why what in the science that made me feel like I trust it. It's basically the fact that it helps kind of like relax habitual, facial expressions. And then sometimes in our sleep, we can like clench brows or jaw. And I just really saw the difference over time.
Yeah.
Like if I would, it took for me probably also just to give you realistic expectations. I started seeing a big difference probably like 6 months in, and you might see it faster than I did, but it wasn't until like 6 months in consistent use that I was like, yep, there's a big difference.
And not to throw another thing under the bus, but you liked frownies less than taping, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I did try
It's
frownies.
thin, so throwing it under the bus, it's
So I did try frownies first before face taping.
got it.
And what didn't agree with me is the whole idea that frownies is more like a cast. So it felt like there was a lot less blood flow, and there's just like when you compare side by side the benefits, it seems like frownies only help you reduce facial expression and relax your muscles, the kind of like over contracting muscles in your face, right? But it doesn't have any other added benefits. But the Japanese face tape, it's like this I always struggle to pronounce
Kinesiological tape.
kinesiological tape.
Yeah.
And it just has so many more benefits that are like well studied, well researched. And yeah, it was just and also with frownies, I didn't like the mess because you have to wet it and then you apply it and then you get their glue on your fingers and just constant face hand. Like I had to wash my hands constantly while doing it. Yeah, I just felt like much
Got it.
more messy as well, like just as a habit.
Got it. That's pretty cool. And again, that's something you can, incorporate with, your skincare routine, aka Young Goose skincare routine, or whatever that is. Anyway, so here's
Is there anything like this for you? Is there anything that you first hated and then you've come around and you now think it's actually good?
I would say facial ice baths. I'm kidding. That's not at all that. This is
Oh my
yes.
God, you got me.
Something I hated and now have come around to. I'll tell you something. First of all, I'll first of all say infrared saunas. I use there are studies showing it raised oxidative stress. So I was on the camp of you should do normal saunas because you don't want the added oxidative stress. Because infrared does raise oxidative stress, like not the infrared that we use in red light therapy, but the infrared that's far infrared, which creates heat. But exactly like many things, like for example, exactly like if you are in a hot environment like a sauna, when you get out, your body kind of rebounds and it actually cools itself off. So you're getting like a rebound effect. You also research show that you also get that from that oxidative load, where your body kind of naturally fights oxidative stress. You need to be healthy. Everything needs to be in line. You can't do it if you have anyway like chronic oxidative load that your body can't address. But for the most part, if you are healthy and you have good levels of oxidative stress,
And clap your hands.
clap your hands. Yes. Shout out to Rafi. Anyway, yeah. So there seems to be a rebound effect that's actually good for you. So I would say this is not necessarily a beauty trend, but a kind of a health trend that I love our infrared sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. So here is a good one. Okay. What's one thing dermatologists say that you completely disagree with?
It's a dangerous question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go there. So the idea that only prescription retinoids work for skin
Yeah.
aging and that everything else is just fluff, it's just not true anymore. I don't disagree with this statement, and I see it all the time on social media. Now there's so many dermatologists that are famous online, and that just seems to be like the message they all agree on.
First of all, it seems to me that the dermatologists who are famous online are the most just the ones that are the least innovative. I don't want to say anything like
Yeah, I think the majority of dermatologists that I feel like have the largest following, they are definitely not from the field of biohacking. They've never
Yeah.
heard of biohacking. So And there are also some really good integrative dermatologists that do have online presence, but their presence is like 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. So they actually somebody who will talk about the importance of like, I don't know, looking into your diet before like for managing acne and all the things that we kind of talk about on this podcast, but they're just so much less influential. Whereas
Yeah.
the dermatologists with like millions of followers, all I see from them is like Aquaphor, CeraVe, and
You should have
SPF.
3 fingers of SPF. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like all the content on repeat.
Yeah. Okay. I totally agree.
And tretinoin.
Yes, I agree. Tretinoin, it's powerful, but that's actually not a good thing. Uh, Definitely not the only game in town. Okay. We now have, so there is like encapsulated retinol, retinaldehyde, retinol esters for that matter. Like there's other types that can stimulate collagen without peeling your face off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just when you're thinking about using retinols, you kind of need to think about like just if you are going to go for prescription retinol, like retinoin, like tretinoin, right? There will be constant irritating of your skin barrier, and aging is mitochondrial and inflammatory issue as well. So it's just not just cellular turnover problem. So I can just take it into account.
Yeah.
I think.
I agree. The best retinoid is the one that you can tolerate consistently.
Yeah, because otherwise it's gone from your system in 24 hours.
Exactly. That's why when we built bioretinol, it's not only like a vitamin A derivative, it's lipid rich, encapsulated, designed to support barrier function, but still signals repair.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that classic biohacking approach. So stimulate renewal without triggering chronic stress. All right. What's one habit that's actually aging people
Can
faster?
I just say what's my
than they realize?
dermatologist thing for me is like vitamin A, but I think vitamin C, ascorbic acid, vitamin C. But I think we've like talked about so many times on the podcast. But I think dermatologists are like still there.
Okay. So let me ask you the question then. So
Yes.
Amitai,
Yeah.
what's one thing that dermatologists say that drives you nuts? Like you
Vitamin
just
C.
can't
Vitamin
stand
C.
it.
Vitamin C is a very general name. Ascorbic acid is synthetic vitamin C. Ascorbic acid at high levels that are used in skincare is actually over time is pro-oxidative. It leads to higher cellular death, and there are like significantly better versions, which I see dermatologists like starting to come around, especially dermatologists who have had many conversations with cosmetic chemists, but they're still stuck on that ascorbic acid train, which is horrible as a supplement, horrible as a topical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have another question for you. What's one habit that's actually aging people faster than they realize? Skincare habit.
Yes. So I would actually say it's not a skincare habit. It would be poor sleep. From personal experience, again, with a
Oh,
baby.
I guess a habit that translates into your skin health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying poor sleep is by far, without a doubt, the number one cause for rapid aging. Number one.
Yeah.
More than anything
On
else.
all
Yes.
fronts, and then it obviously translates into your skin aging as well.
Yes. People underestimate how destructive it is to skin. I would say there is no ingredient, including anything that you can imagine, including gene therapy, including, the craziest of the craziest operations, whatever that is, that either can work properly if you have poor sleep, or that could kind of reverse what poor sleep takes away, or the damage it inflicts. Like if you're not getting deep quality sleep, your body can't run the repair programs that reverse or even upkeep healthy cells or reverse cellular damage.
Completely agree. Okay. Yeah. That 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. window is when your skin gets to work. So autophagy, growth hormone, collagen synthesis. And if you're up scrolling Instagram, you're literally skipping the regeneration cycle. So if you're somebody who goes to sleep super late, hopefully that's going to be a motivation to try. And, at least some window, some part of this window from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. be asleep for your best beauty sleep.
Yes, exactly. And it's not only sleep length, it's also sleep environment. Cool room, blackout shades, stable blood sugar levels before bed. That's part of your, I would say it's part of your skincare routine. Whether you like it or not, it is part of your skincare routine.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think if you approach, if you're getting serious, like if you took your sleep preparation for sleep seriously, you will see it translate into better skin in the morning. Like all of the things you said, I would probably like add mouth tape to it,
Mouth taping, don't expose your eyes to blue light.
Yeah, like don't eat at least 2-3 hours before going to
I
bed.
would say, I don't know if it's going to be a part of the links here, but I did just write like a tremendous book, which you helped a lot in writing that book. I just was the one.
No, I was just the muse.
No, a lot of the information there is your information. It's just like I was typing it, but
you are much faster typer than I am. It would take me a year to type this book.
It took me a good amount of time. Anyway, but we have an ebook that details everything from like how to, everything really, like everything that you could ever imagine. As you can see, it doesn't teach you to speak well, but anything you could ever imagine around.
No, we can definitely share it here in show notes. Yeah, we'll share it here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we can have a link, and then people can download this ebook.
Yeah.
Free.
That's a great resource if you want to optimize everything, that like all of your habits, and then see how that translates into skin health. Again, totally free. Does not plug in our products, just overall.
It does plug in the hell out of our products, but it's not about our products. Our product is an example. If you have, it's funny because there is a comment somewhere. I think it was when I was a guest on Asprey's podcast, I guess, or Ben Greenfield's podcast, or let me drop some more names of podcasts I was on. No, but like some big podcast, and there was like there was a comment about no, it was a comment about our podcast. It's the only not 5-star rating the podcast got, which was something around the fact that we talk about our products. But I think it's the chicken and the egg. It's like our belief system is what we're talking about a lot on this podcast. Our belief system is also shaped throughout time and what we learn, but it expresses itself. I mean, we have the ability to make any products we want. So of course, our belief system is going to be expressed in our products.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, right? It's the chicken and the egg. So anyway, so do you have anything
to ask?
Not to ask, but like, do you have anything like what I mentioned, like the poor sleep? Like what's one ingredient? What's
one habit?
I don't remember. Yeah, one habit.
I also forgot the question.
Yeah, what's one bad habit?
What's one bad habit that's ruining your skin health? I mean, there are just so many, but I guess if I had to pick one habit, I would say drinking. Like drink alcohol just really dries your skin out. So it's also not great in general for your health. But for anyone who stopped drinking alcohol, they've seen huge improvement in their skin health. But also, like, I'm somebody who drinks a glass of wine or champagne socially, and that is also fine. You just have to be mindful that,
Yeah.
the more you drink, the worse your skin is going to look.
Yeah, amen. I don't know about amen, but yeah, it's not good for you. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope it was fun. We hope you learned something new. And we hope it made you think about your routine and maybe, make some changes to it.
Yeah, I think the point is not to like follow our rules. It's to understand the way we think or the biology behind your skin. And so obviously, so you can make smarter choices, right? Trends will come, trends will go, but your skin cells, that's what it is called epistemological truth. Like your skin cells will always respond to, the truth, to science. And if there is one takeaway from today, it is this, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, is there more?
Oh, no. So one take was before you buy into the hype, ask, does it actually change my skin's biology, or does it just make me feel like I'm giving money to my favorite celebrity? That's it. That's what I wanted to say. But sure, cut me. Again, the story about us driving in the car and I was talking about the Roman Empire and you just turned on the radio because you were tuning me out so much. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought
I got it.
You meant the whole episode.
I got it.
Okay, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Share it with someone who is obsessed with their skincare routine, or DM us your biggest skincare myth to bust. We might tackle it into the future episode.
Yeah, I would say two things. Remember, if you enjoy this, if you think this is helpful, the way that podcasts grow, the way we got to be number 2 in the beauty and fashion category.
Globally.
Exactly. We need to be number 1. Anyway, so the way that we got to that is because a lot of people shared. A lot of people, gave us a review. A lot of people shared this. And that is how the algorithm understands that more people should see this content. So if you think it's helpful, help us out. Help people out over here. That's number 1. If you want to take a deeper dive into the protocols we talk about here, check out Yangus Skincare, whether on Instagram or on website yangus.com. We formulate every product with the same principles we talk about on this show: longevity science, biohacking strategies, not so funny jokes, and results that last. And I would say, if you really like what we're talking about, head over to yangus.com, use the code podcast10. You're going to get 10% off. And yeah.
Well, we'll see you here next week. Until then, keep biohacking your beauty.
Let's go.